Have you ever wondered why some people seem to have more money than others, even though they may not have a higher salary or a better job? The answer is often the power of compound interest. Compound interest is the ability of money to grow over time, and the earlier you start saving and investing, the more you will have in the future. Imagine if you had invested just $100 in an account with a 5% interest rate when you were 20 years old. By the time you reach 65, that $100 would have grown to over $2,000. Now, imagine if you had waited until you were 30 to start investing. That same $100 would only grow to just over $800 by the time you reach 65. The difference is staggering, and it's all because of the power of compound interest. The earlier you start saving and investing, the more time your money has to grow and compound. But it's never too late to start. Even if you're already in your 40s or 50s, you can still take advantage of the power of compound interest. The question is, how can you start taking advantage of the power of compound interest and change your life? In this video series, we'll talk about the different ways you can start saving and investing, as well as tips and strategies for getting the most out of your money and getting ahead financially. Are you ready to learn how the power of compound interest can change your life? As a financial expert with decades of experience in investing, banking, and teaching people about all aspects of money and finance, I understand the power of compound interest. It is the ability for money to grow over time, and the earlier you start, the more you will have in the future. To illustrate this, let me tell you a story from my own life. When I was just starting out, I was like many young people. I didn't have much money, and I didn't know much about investing. But I did know that I wanted to be financially independent, and I knew that the earlier I started saving and investing, the better off I would be. So, I decided to start putting away a small amount of money each month into a savings account that earned interest. At first, it didn't seem like much. But over time, as the interest compounded, my savings began to grow. And as I continued to save and invest, that growth accelerated. By the time I reached my 30s, I had a substantial amount of money saved, and I was able to start investing in other things, like stocks and real estate. And as those investments grew, my wealth continued to compound. Now, at 41, I can say that the power of compound interest has truly changed my life. It allowed me to achieve financial independence, and it has given me the freedom to live my life on my own terms. And it all started with a small step, a small investment in my future, made when I was young. So, I encourage you to start thinking about your own financial future. Understand the power of compound interest and how it can change your life. Start putting away a small amount of money each month into a savings account, or invest in stocks or real estate. The earlier you start. Have you ever heard the saying, "A penny saved is a penny earned"? Well, let me tell you a little story about the power of compound interest that will blow your mind. When I was just starting out on my financial journey, I was given a small amount of money by a wise old friend. He told me to put it in an interest-bearing account and leave it there for 20 years. I didn't think much of it at the time, but I followed his advice. Fast forward 20 years, and that small amount of money had grown to a significant sum, all thanks to the power of compound interest. Now, I know what you're thinking, but in Cryptus, 20 years is a long time, and I need money now. And you're right, it is a long time. But the point is, the earlier you start saving and investing, the more time compound interest has to work its magic. And even small amounts of money can add up over time. Let me give you an example. Let's say you start saving $100 a month at age 25 and continue until age 65. If you put that money into a savings account with a 2% interest rate, you would have over $175,000. But if you put that same $100 a month into a diversified investment portfolio with an average return of 7%, you would have over $1 million. That's the power of compound interest. But here's the key. In order to take advantage of the power of compound interest, you have to start early and be consistent. Consistency is key. It's not about finding the next hot stock or trying to time the market, it's about consistently putting money into your investments and letting compound interest work its magic over time. I learned this lesson the hard way. I remember being in my 20s and thinking that I had all the time in the world to start saving for retirement. But then life happened. I got married, I had kids, and all of a sudden, I realized that time was slipping away. I had a lot of catching up to do. So, I started putting as much money as I could into my retirement accounts, but I was playing catch up. If I had started earlier, even with just a small amount, the power of compound interest would have been working for me all those years. And let me tell you, the difference between starting at 25 and starting at 35 is huge. So, the takeaway here is to start early and be consistent with your savings and investments. Even small contributions can make a big difference in the long run. And if you're already behind, don't worry, it's never too late to start. The important thing is to start now and to stay consistent. Another important aspect of compound interest is to invest in growth assets like stocks and not just safe assets like bonds. And this is where diversifying your portfolio comes in. Diversifying your portfolio allows you to minimize risk and maximize returns. And when it comes to compound interest, the higher the return, the more your money will grow over time. So, in summary, understand the power of compound interest, start early and be consistent with your savings and investments, and diversify your portfolio to maximize returns and minimize risk. These are the keys to using compound interest to your advantage and setting yourself up for a financially stable future. As I look back on my own journey, I can see the power of compound interest at work in my own life. By starting early and being consistent with my savings and investing, I've been able to build a solid financial foundation for myself and my family. But it's not just about the money. The real power of compound interest is the freedom it gives you. The freedom to make choices, to pursue your passions, and to live life on your own terms. So, my advice to you is this: start early, be consistent, and let the power of compound interest work for you. It may not happen overnight, but with time and patience, You'll be amazed at the results. And if you want to learn more about the power of compound interest and how to apply it to your own life, be sure to check out the other videos in this series. We cover everything from setting financial goals to diversifying your investment portfolio. Thank you for watching. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And as always, I'm here to answer any questions you may have. So please feel free to reach out and let me know what you'd like to learn more about.